Next is Vadyam. See, every Devata Swarupam in Sanatana Dharma will be an instrument player. They don't attend concerts. They themselves give their own concerts. Vishnu. என்னப்பா சார் சார் உங்க சாமி என்ன சார் பண்ண சங்கூதிடுவார் சார். கற்பூரம் நாருமோ கமல புனாருமோ திருப்பவள செவ்வாய்த்தான் தித்திருக்குமோ மறு போஷித்த மாதவந்தன் வாய்ச்சுவையும் நாற்றமும் விரிப்புற்று கேட்கின்றேன் சொல்லாழி வெண்சங்கே. ஆண்டாள் says, my dear conch, tell me if the man whom I'm in love with has good smell or not. Shankha asked, how will I know? You are the one who goes inside his mouth. You will only know his smell. How does his saliva taste? Now you may think, sir, why is Andal asking such nasty questions? Because she's going to marry him. So she is asking, one, Vishnu's conch, that is a Vadyam. Second, Shiva's Damaru. Mahadeva in Kailasha will be doing Tandavam. வடகையிலையில் முன்னாள் மாமுனி கருள் செய்தபடி தவறாமல் தில்லைப்பதியில் வந்து தை மாதத்தில் குரு பூஷத்தில் பகல் நேரத்தில் தாம் தகிட்ட தக்கஜம் தக்கணம் தரித்தோம் தரிதை தினி தகிட்ட தோம் தரிதை நரி தித்திகிட்ட தாம். So when he dances, he has to depend on a percussionist, but that percussionist is in Silkboard Junction, caught in the traffic. So Shiva says, I will be my own percussion. He has his damaru. He will dance along with it. So he gives his own beat. 2. Nandi. 3rd. He does mridangam. So there is an extra instrument. Saraswati, Matangi, Veena. Veena bheri venuvadyadi vinodini modini rakshamam. What are the instruments? Veena bheri. Bheri is a vadyam. Venu. What is Venu? Flute. Veena bheri Venu Vadyadi Vinodini. This is Dikshitar's Kriti, so he has to give the ragam Veena Abheri. That ragam has come there. Abheri. What is the instrument? Bheri. The way you split will give you the word. So Saraswati plays the Veena. Who else? In Shaktam, in Sri Vidya, Matangi plays. In Madurai, Meenakshi plays. Madhurapuri Nilaye Manivalaye Malaye Dvaja Pandya Raja Tanaye Vidhu Vidambana Vadane Vijaye Veena Vadana Dashagamaka Kriye. 10 gamakas she will play with the Veena, it seems. So Veena. 5th, Narada's Veena. It is called Mahati. 6th is Krishna's flute. Correct? Wherever he goes, he will break. Katrinile Varum Geetam. So Krishna's flute, Narada's Veena, Saraswati's Veena, Matangi's Veena, Shiva's Damaru, Nandi's Mridangam, and Vishnu's conch. So we are all a sampradaya of full of instrument players. So the 18th kala is Vadyam. So your knowledge of playing the instruments. Ghanam cha vitatam vadyam tatam sushirameva cha kamsya pushkara tantribhir venuna cha yathakramam. Sir, does whistle also count as one of the... That I don't know. Yadavaraya vrindavanadolo ವೇಣುನಾದವ ಮಾಡುತ್ತಿರೆ ರಾಧಾ ಮುಂತಾದ ಗೋಪಿಯರೆಲ್ಲ ಮಧುಸೂದನ ನಿಮ್ಮನು ಸೇವಿಸುತ್ತೀರೆ ಯಾದವರಾಯ. When Krishna plays the flute, Kanakadasa says, Why should we do other work? We should just listen to that music. So, instruments, that is the 18th. Now, this is going to be the 19th kala. You can see some parts of it in my lecture also. Nrityam. People who give lectures will be seated in one place. My hands will go left and right. That is why I don't allow anybody to sit here. Nrityam. So, pranamya. Now, Nrityam. What a country we are in Nritya Shastram. See, there is a Shastra Vidhi which says everyone, the man or the woman, when you're doing Aradhana to Bhagavan every day in your house, at the end you have to dance and show, it seems, to Bhagavan. We don't do that. We are worried. If he goes away, nam dance note yav dance idu. So, in dance, we have three words, says Bharata Muni. One is Nritta, for which the definition is Nrittam Tala Layashrayam. It has to stick to a rhythm. That is Nrittam. Anyad Bhavashrayam Nrityam. Second is Nrityam. First is Nrittam. Second is Nrityam, where you do bhavam. There should be emotion. Third, Natyam. Avasthanukritir Natyam. There should be a storyline. You should be able to explain. All this is extremely important. What is important for dance? Bhavam. How does this bhavam come? Rasa. How many rasas are there? Nam gotu sa tomato rasa. Yav rasa? Navarasas. Now there is one shloka. Shringaram kshiti nandini viharane Viram dhanur bhanjane Karunyam balibhojanam balibhojane Adbhutarasam sindhau giristhapane Hasyam shurpanaka mukhe bhayavahe bhibhatsamanya mukhe Raudram Ravanamardane Munijane Shantam Vapuh Patunaha. Valmiki's Ramayana has Navarasas, it seems. Shringaram Kshiti Nandini. Kshiti is Bhumi, Nandini's daughter. Bhumi Putri Sita, when Rama met, there was Shringaram. Annarum Nokinan. Avarum Nokinal. என்னரும் நலத்தினால் இணையல் நின்றொழி கண்ணுடு கண்டினை கவ்வி ஒன்றை ஒன்று உண்ணவும் நிலை பெறாது உணர்வும் ஒன்றிட அன்னரும் நோக்கினான் அவரும் நோக்கினாள். You remember N.T. Ramarao Padmini? They look. That is Shringaram. Love. Veeram Dhanur Bhanjane. But to marry, what did Janaka say? Don't keep looking. Come down. Break the bow. So he showed his Veeram. Veeram Dhanur Bhanjane. That is Veera Rasam. One is Shringaram, love. See, for everything, Geetam should also change. Shringaram Kshiti Nandini Viharane Veeram Dhanur Bhanjane. I can't do the opposite. Shringaram. Odi bedu sithe. Veeram Dhanur Bhanjane. Padutundruvar. Karunyam Sahana Karunyam Balibhojane. When the crow came and assaulted Sita, Sita said, crow hai, chodiye. Then they fed some food and said, crow, dekhe jao. Now that crow has physically assaulted her. Somebody has hit your car. Un chocolate tagoli sir. Karunyam Balibhojane Adbhutarasam. Vanaras were constructing Setu. Adbhutarasam. Wonder. Adbhutarasam Sindhu Giristhapane. Vanaras are constructing a bridge. Ejipura is not over. Hasyam Shurpanakha Mukhe. Shurpanakha proposes to Rama. In 2 minutes, she proposes to Lakshmana. Then she comes back to Rama. Rama said, first make up your mind about whom you want to propose to. Ivaga Rama, next episode Lakshmana, yenidu. Thank God Bharata and Shatrughna are not here. Right. Hasyam Shurpanakha Mukhe. When you look at Shurpanakha, you laugh, it seems. Bhayavahe bhibatsamanyan mukhe. When the Rakshasas came to fight Rama, they were bruised and defeated. Looking at them, somebody will feel the fear. Looking at each other, they felt the disgust. Bhibhatsam bhayanakam, both fear and disgust. When Rama fought Ravana, he showed those eyes as Rudra. Raudram Ravana Mardane. Then, sir, solpa shanta agbeku. Munijane shantam vapuh patunaha. When he spoke to the rishis in the forest, there was Shantarasam. So the 9 rasas, which is the foundation for Natya Shastra, is inside the Ramayana. So this makes it the 19th Vidya called Nrityam. Why is Nrityam important? I'm telling you, if you're making a presentation in your corporate world, you have to speak to your internal team or convince the client. You are a teacher or a headmistress running the school where you'll have to talk to your stakeholders, majorly the parents and secondary the students. If you are a music teacher or dance teacher, you're talking to your students. You are a politician talking to your constituency. Your speaking skills matter a lot. You cannot remain in Maunavratam and rule the country. You will have to talk. And to each of them, you have to talk in a different way. Constituents are different. When you talk to extremely well-read scholars, you may not have to be extremely comical. You don't have to use a jokes lot. But you should use your hands, you should use your eyes, you should know how to articulate your tone. Thank you for being present here. It is indeed my pleasure. So the voice goes down. And then you use your hands. So Nrityam Geetam is a part of your communication skills. Imagine you should not use your hands. You should not change your voice. The next Vidya is Natakam. The third is going to be Vachanam. See, either people will fall to sleep, okay, or they will simply say he spoke well, we didn't understand. So, articulation, the way you express through your eyes, the way your tone changes, the way your hands are used. So, there is Nrityam, there is Geetam, there is tongue twister. See, all of these skills we need. Just the proportion will vary. We may not become another Padma Subramanyam or a Chitra Vishweshwaran. We may need it to 1%, they will need it to 90%. That's all. So, this is 19th. 20th, this is also very common. Natakam, theatrics, theatre. 20th, Natakam Khyata Vrittam Syat Panchasandhi Samanvitam. See, again, we are a land of great dramatists, consummate dramatists. 2000 years back, Kalidasa gave us Abhignana Shakuntalam, Vikramurvashiyam, Malavikagnimittram. Bhasa gave us Abhisheka Natakam, Pratima Natakam, Urubhangam, Karnabharam. We had Bhattanarayana Veni Samhara. We had Vedanta Deshika Sankalpa Suryodayam, Krishna Mishra's Prabodha Chandrodayam. Everybody gave us beautiful dramas. The way they construct the dialogues, I'll just tell you how a dialogue goes between Shakuntala, Priyamvada. These are some pictures from the Sanskrit movie that I had the opportunity to direct. So, Priyamvada, she tells Shakuntala, Hala Shakuntale, अत्र एवत्तावत् मुहूर्तं तिष्ठ यावत् त्वया उपगतया लथासनात इव अयं केसरवृक्षकाः प्रतिभाति. Shakuntala is standing. Her friend Priyamvada, very well spoken, she says, Shakuntala, just stand like that. Just stand like that. Shakuntala says, what's wrong? No, you're standing very close to the tree. To me, it appears from a distance as if you are the creeper around the tree. Lata means creeper. So you should, Lata doesn't have to be like a creeper, but Lata means creeper. So that Lata should go around the tree. And she was just standing on by the tree. Then Shakuntala says, Atakalu Priyamvada Asitvam. She says, you speak so beautifully. That is why your father has given you the name Priyamvada. Priyamvada means well spoken. You impress me so much, right? So Priyamvada, Shakuntala, na yeshaha drishtaha viramasi anyataha gamishyami. Oh, a bee is trying to trouble me. This is how, a love scenario has to come into picture. Kalidasa has to create one scene. 2000 years back, one bee is chasing Shakuntala. She runs hither and thither. Then Shakuntala says, oh, this bee is just following me. The other girl says, generally bees follow flowers. Maybe your face is like the flower. One lady says you are the creeper, the other says you are the flower. Then the other lady says, Dushyantam Akranda. See, a Kshatriya should only protect us from all these rogue elements like bees. Call the king. Dushyantam Akranda. Shakuntala says, why should I call his name? And by the time she turns this side, there's Dushyanta. She falls into his hands. Now, the next 5 verses, Kalidasa composes beautiful verses, how they met. Now, na 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 na, you'll have all that background if we had a composer. Now, the way you should read, my urging will be read Shakuntalam once. You will know what drama is. Now, from those long dialogues, Maniratnam has come. Ye, edukku, ipova. This one word, right? So, Kalidasa has written pages together of dialogues. So, that is Natakam. Okay, Natakam, we will leave it there. 21st, Vachanam, to read loud. So, I have given up on the forthcoming and the current generations. While I used to read, my grandmother will have a stick next to her and she would say, read aloud. Have you heard of this? Now, a lot of the children don't like it. First, they don't like you and the stick, both. So they say, I am a Maharishi. I will read it in my mind. Everything in the mind. But I do not know if that is the right method. See, they may follow it, we may succumb to them, but Vidya is Vachanam. You have to read aloud. Only when you read aloud, you will be able to listen what you're saying. See, you will never know the mistakes if you read it in your mind. When you ask some person to recite Vishnu Sahasranamam, then only we will know. Bhishma will get confused. ಇದು ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿರೋ ಸಹಸ್ರನಾಮ ಅಲ್ಲವೇ, ಇವ್ರು ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಶ್ರೀಧ ಶೀಶ ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸ ಶ್ರೀಧ ಶ್ರೀಸ ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸ ಶ್ರೀನಿಧಿ ಶ್ರೀ ವಿಭಾವನ ಶ್ರೀಧರ ಶ್ರೀಕರ ಶ್ರೇಯ ಶ್ರೀಮಾನ್ ಲೋಕ. Only when you say it aloud will you have the opportunity to correct yourselves. Who did that, sir? ಆ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು? ನಾರದ. Everywhere he goes, he will carry the brand. See, he was the brand lab, Kotler of those days. See, in branding, you should keep repeating the name. Right? Airtel Varangam, super singer in Adutha Pagadi Nam Park. They say, right? So it's like that. So here we say, I keep telling you Adhyatma Vikasa Vedike, Aradhana talks. This is branding. But I can't keep doing that throughout my lecture. But Narada is like that. Narayana. Narayana. So that brand Narayana gets established. We talk about branding today. What is surrogacy? What is branding? What are the chapters? All that Narada has done. With his veena, he also has an instrument. Varana, Radhanarayana, Smarana, Ananda, Anubhava, Mugala. Vachanam is extremely important. So they say Vachanam. Shuddhenanya chittena patitavyam prayatnataha nakaryat sarvat manasa karyam stotrasya vachanam. So you have to keep repeating that name. 22nd, performing art, great art. Indrajalam. You have to create something through magic and take away the eyes of your onlookers for some time. We all love magic. Like when we go to the concert of, say, a Coldplay or say a Taylor Swift, we all have those xylo bands, and then suddenly the light goes, ooh ha. You just put all the 1 lakh people dance around like that, and then there's a sudden Mexican wave in one of our IPL matches. Suddenly the trend starts. See, everything is about Indrajalam. You want to create that magic. You go to a 5D movie, suddenly the water will splash on you. Who did this first? One of the first persons to do that was Maricha. See, in the Ramayana, Ravana has his brothers lost. Khara, Dushana, Trishiras, all the entire military establishment in Janasthana is gone. His dear sister's nose has been cut. He must have taken her to the doctor, got that treatment done, must have done the Antyeshti for his brothers. He didn't do that. First he went to Maricha and said, I want to abduct Sita. That is his behavior. Maricha said, see, earlier Rama hit me while he was at the age of 12. I came and fell here. Now he's all the more experienced. If he hits me, I don't know where I will go. But Ravana said, I have been paying you for my food. You are surviving because of my grace and sympathy. When I say, listen, Maricha said, I will listen. I will do what you say. But like how I die at the hands of Rama today, you will die tomorrow. He went. That is when Maricha asked, what should I do? Tell me. He said, release yourself as that old deer. You were an illusionary deer once. This deer's description has been given by Valmiki. Saturupam samasthaya mahad adbhuta darshanam mani pravara shringa graha sita asita mukha kritihi. Have you seen blue sapphires? Those blue sapphires have to be made into horns, antlers, it seems. So the horns of this deer was made in sapphire. Rakta padmotpala mukham. One half of the deer's face was in rubies. Indranilotpala shravaha. The dark blue Indranila sapphire will be on the right hand side cheek of the deer, it seems. Kinchit abhyunnata grivam. Indranila uba udaraha. Its abdominal portion was also blue. See, he never says green because they are in the forest, right? That green will get camouflaged. So he uses blue. Madhu kanibha parshvaha cha kanja kinjalka sannibhaha. Like madhuka flowers color, red color, it should be in the neck region. Vaiduryasanka shakhuraha. Your feet should be made with uncut diamonds. Tanujangasu samhritaha. The amethyst should cover your calf portion. Indrayudha savarnena. The tail of the deer Maricha should be like the Indradhanush, rainbow of. See, when you create this, you do it in AI and see how it will look. Indrayudha savarnena puchena urdhvam virajitaha. It should bend itself and come upwards. Then only Sita can see at that rainbow tail. Manohara snigdhavarno ratnainana vidhai vritaha. Oh Maricha, with all the specifications I've given, put it into the system, generate yourself as that deer and stand before Sita. Then asked Maricha, rest, I will take care. So the first victim to Indrajalam was Sita in the Ramayana. Second, Indrajit was a very intelligent son of Ravana. He used to perform yajna every day. His yajna vidhi comes as a part of Uttarakandam, but there was a vara. You could do as many yajnas as possible, but death will come to you if one of the yajnas is stopped in the middle. That is why Vibhishana ensures that Indrajit's yajna to Nikumbala Devi doesn't get completed. They stop in the middle and Indrajit dies. So Indrajit does an illusionary war with Rama and Lakshmana. That is second Indrajala. Third, Kamsa's wives were the daughters of Jarasandha. Jarasandha was of Bihar, Magadha Desha. Jarasandha's son-in-law was Ravana. When Ravana was Kamsa. When Kamsa dies at the hands of Krishna, Jarasandha attacks Mathura not once but 17 times. When Krishna feels that he has to give the credit of killing Jarasandha to his cousin called Bhima, he buys a city off the coast of Gujarat and asks Vishwakarma to construct it, and it is called Dwaraka. In the middle of the night, see, he could have done a plebiscite, right? He could have gone ask the people, Mathura log, kitne log idhar se Dwarka shift karna chahte hain? Some would have said yes, some would have said you have to pay me for my land. I want the same compensation there. Krishna didn't believe in this kind of, going through this approach of asking people for votes. They all slept the previous night. Next morning when they woke up in Dwaraka. That lady went and stood before the mirror. Her sari itself had changed. From this side, it came to that side. Kem cho. She opened her mouth. Kaise ho. It became kem cho. Whatever dal bati churma she had made had become dokla, fafda, khandvi, thepla, chundiya, undiyo. So that was Indrajalam. One night he shifted. So all this is part of the 22nd Vidya called Indrajalam.
Parama Bhagavata Mauni Varasa Shivi Bhakara Sanaka Sanandana Disha Surakim Purusha Kanaka Kashipu Suta Narada Tumburu Pavana Sunu Bala Chandra Dhara Shuka Saroja Bhava Bhusura Varulu Parama Pavanulu Ghanulu Shashvatulu Kamala Bhava Sukhamu Sadanu Bhavulu Gakayendaro as I'm speaking these divine lines of Sri Tyagaraja Swami, I've received the very divine Onavil of Thiruvananthapuram. This is going to be a grand, a mega Natya production titled Endaro Mahanubhavalu, a festoon of the devout. We have chosen the inspiring events from the lives of 14 Acharyas, Mahans, who have trod Bharata Bhumi. Doddacharya, Adishankaracharya, Vedanta Deshika, Muthuswami Dikshita, Potana, Jayadeva, Andal, Mirabai, Kamban, Tirumalizai Piran, Bhadrachala, Ramadasu, Goswami, Tulasidasa, Purandaradasa, and Tukaram. We have strung it together into a beautiful dance production that is primarily Bharatanatyam based with movements of Odissi, Ghumar, and Mohiniyattam, which is going to be multilingual as well, with lines chosen from Sanskritam, Marathi, Brajbhasha, Rajasthani, Telugu, Kannada, Tamil, so many languages put together. I've had the opportunity to work with dancers, Natya gurus of great repertoire in the last 15 years. This is an opportunity for me to have curated the production, to have done the storyboard and narrate the production in English. The choreography is by the very famous, revered Kalaimamani Srimati Anita Guha. The music is by the great-grandson of Subramanya Bharati, a Sangeet Natak Academy awardee, Dr. Rajkumar Bharati. And the soundscape design is by Sri Sai Shravanam, one of the contributing engineers to the award-winning Life of Pi movie. We have all come together to present this grand production Endaro Mahanubhavalu in your city. On the 26th and on the 27th of September at the Prestige Center of Performing Arts in Bengaluru, we are presenting this production. On the 3rd and the 4th of October, we are doing it at the Naradagana Sabha in Chennai. On the 1st of November, we are doing it at the Fine Arts Society Chembur in Mumbai. And on the 29th of November at Kamani Auditorium in Delhi. Tickets are flying off the shelves. Please be present, buy your tickets and be with your family to watch this, I would say, once in a lifetime event. We are extremely thankful to the title sponsor, to the event sponsor, to the associate sponsors, and to those hands who have supported us. To the all of you, thank you. To the all of you, Vandanamulu, please be present. Namaskar.
The 23rd Vidya is called Hastalaghavam. Hastalaghavam is the dexterity of the hands. So how do we understand the dexterity of the hands? To play the flute, Krishna used both the hands. Arjuna, see, he could shoot with both the hands. Generally, people will use the right, but he used the left and the right. So he was called Savyasachi. Then you have cutting of the vegetables. Whichever instrument, you have to use both your hands. Then solving the Rubik's Cube, playing with the balls. All this requires the dexterity of both your hands. You should be able to write with both, use both. So this is called Hasta Laghavam. You should find it very easy to move with your hands. The 24th one is a very interesting one called as Sutra Krida. Sutra Krida is the art of playing with threads. It's a very ancient folk art that is practiced in different parts of the country, which is called a puppet show, where they play behind the screen. There will be a very altruistic person, very dexterous, filled with alacrity to manage those puppets. He will just manage the threads and it will appear as if Hiranyakashipu is talking. Annamacharya says in one kriti, Hey Bhagavan, we are those puppets in your hands. Na noru vilayat bommaya. But how are these sutras important? Because sutra means thread. How is sutra important? Sutra is important in our life because it helps us stitch patterns. People do long stitch, short stitch, crochet, and so on and so forth, right? So they use threads. How are sutras important? I will give you the list of sutras that we have been bestowed as jnana with. Sankhya Yoga comes through Kapila Sutras, which are 527 in number. Kapila Sutras are 527. Nyaya, Gautama Maharishi's Nyaya Sutras are 528. Vaiseshika, Kanada Maharishi's Sutras are 370. Vyakarana, Panini's Ashtadhyayi Sutras are 3959 sutras. Yoga, Patanjali Maharishi's Yoga Sutras are 196. Purva Mimamsa, Jaimini Maharshi Sutras are 2621. Uttara Mimamsa, Vyasa Maharishi's Brahma Sutras are 545. Shrauta Sutras, Grihya Sutras, Dharma Sutras put together will give you roughly about 13,000 sutras. So, all these 13,000 sutras, if one remembers, in those days they were called as Vidwan. Not the number, you have to remember the sutras. So, these are sutras. Now, we are going to go to the third category. This is a very interesting category called as sports. Do you have any relationship? No, whatsoever. But I have to explain because it is a part of the 64 arts. 25th Kala is called Gajashva Ratha Kaushalam, the ability to manage elephants, ride them, horses, and chariots. See, these vidyas are written for ages. But what will I do with elephant now? The ability to ride a two-wheeler, the ability to go in a Porsche, the ability to drive in the right direction, the ability to ride in the wrong direction but not get a ticket. See all this, right? All this is our talent now. In those days, it was elephants. Now, how do we deal with elephants, chariots? Dasharatha was called Dasharatha. His original name was Dharmaraja as per Ramayana. But why was he called Dasharatha? In the days when kings used to have the talent to ride chariots, Dasharatha was so dexterous, was so skilled in driving his chariot that he could go left, right, north, south, east, west, four directions plus four cardinal. Then you have got eight, one up, one beneath. So he was so talented. He was called Dasharatha. Were women allowed to drive, sir? Saudi, they were never used to. Now they have changed. What is it about women? Yes, Kaikeyi drove for Dasharatha. Satyabhama rode for Krishna. See, when Balarama had fixed the marriage of his dear sister Subhadra with Duryodhana, Krishna did not like it. He felt this is not the right thing. He told Arjuna, are you interested to marry Subhadra? Arjuna said, I've left on a Tirtha Yatra for Prayashchittam. He said, don't worry, wherever you go, come back to Dwaraka after your Prayashchitta. When Arjuna came back after the Tirtha Yatra, he had a huge beard, jata. He looked like a Muni, Arjunananda. Now, Krishna did not disclose his identity to Subhadra. He said, there is a great Swami who has come to our city. Subhadra, tum unko jakar serve karo. So she took all that dokla, fafda, everything she laid. She put that on the plantain leaf. This is called Subhadra Harana Champu. Read this kavyam. It's a very beautiful kavyam, Champu kavyam. So she places all these food varieties on the leaf. She asks Swami, do you like the sweets? He said, I like the sweet and also you. Swami, you are Arjunananda. No, I am Arjun. See me without the beard. Then he said, yes, he's the action king. Arjun. Then they went and Arjuna said, okay, I will marry Subhadra. But now Krishna said, there's a catch-22 situation. My older brother has fixed her marriage with Duryodhana. Then Arjuna said, what should I do now? We have to do something. Subhadra asked, Bhaiya, मैं क्या करूं भैया? You kidnap Arjuna. Bhaiya, shouldn't it be the other way? No, you kidnap. How will I kidnap? I cannot carry him. No, you ask him to go to the Ratham. You become the Sarathi. And Arjuna, when she is driving, you should say Bachao. So Arjuna started shouting, Bachao, Bachao. And Subhadra, because now Krishna will be able to defend, right? He can tell Balarama, see, it is not Arjuna's mistake, it is our sister's mistake. She has abducted Arjuna. See, Krishna's brain, that we have to research. 3 days, Krishna's brain, we will research one day. How he has thought. So, Subhadra rode a chariot. Satyabhama rode. Kaikeyi rode. Dasharatha rode. The greatest of charioteers was Krishna. Partha Sarathi. See, generally on the battlefield, media will be focused on the people who are standing behind. Here, all the media is focused on the driver. Hey, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಫೋಟೋ ತಕೊಂಡ್ರ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿನ್ನ ಆಂಗಲ್ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ ನಂಗೆ ಫೋಟೋ ಕಳಿಸೋ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ. So everybody's focus was on Krishna because the most handsome of the lot was the charioteer. Is there a greater charioteer? Asit nishadheshu nalaha nama raja. Sahi sarangeshu vedeshu dhanurvede cha parangataha. Ashveshu kushalaha gunaihi sampurnaha cha babhuva. Says Samskrita Padyam, Gadyam. There was a Raja called Nala. Nala Chakravarti had a wife called Damayanti. Nala Damayanti Charitram comes in which Itihasa? Very good. Mahabharata. In Mahabharata, we have the story of Nala and Damayanti. But remember, Nala and Damayanti, though their story comes in Mahabharata, they lived before Rama. Adi ಹೆಂಗ್ ಸರ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು? In Sundarakandam, when Sita invokes the Pativrata Nari, that time she tells, I am like Damayanti to Nala. It happened before Rama, but has been narrated after Rama. You're getting the point? Now, there is one kavyam called Naishadham by a kavi called Sri Harsha. Sri Harsha was one of the great, I've mentioned this Aitihyam many times. Sri Harsha's poetry to even decipher is an art. He gave us this charitram called Nala Charitram, which is Naishadham. He also gave us a philosophical work called Khandana Khanda Khadyam. To understand that work is an art. I will tell you about his Dharana Shakti before I proceed to Nala. This is a very famous incident. I've mentioned this in many of my kathas. He used to speak only Sanskritam. He came from Kashmir Pradesha to Varanasi seeking work. No vacancy. He sat by the banks of river Ganga. While he was meditating, he saw two local women who had come to fetch Ganga waters fight over some issue. They were talking in their local language, Varanasi, Bhojpuri, Awadhi, some language. This man knew only Sanskritam. There were other onlookers to this fight. Suddenly, the soldiers appeared, caught these two women and took them in the front of the Varanasi Raja. Varanasi Raja asked, Kya hua? The soldiers had said, we don't know what happened, but these two women were fighting. Can anybody tell what they were fighting? Nobody had listened to what they were fighting for. But the soldiers said, we saw some learned scholar there, can we ask him? They brought Harsha there. Harsha spoke to the king in Sanskritam and said, sir, I know only Sanskritam. But, the Raja said, but I can repeat what they have said. Whatever they spoke, I can repeat. Exactly the same tone, texture, he repeated what they had spoken in Bhojpuri or Awadhi. Those women were, Arey, itna bole the kya hum? So they were surprised. Now there was some judgment given. Net effect, Harsha was made the court poet. He became the Raja. Now this Harsha's poetry, because kings in those days used to keep a poet so that they compose poems. They were so engaged. The kings used to engage themselves so very well. Now this king was engaging himself very well. He asked Harsha to compose verses. Harsha was composing. When Harsha was composing, the verses used to be so complicated. He said, Harsha, take a sabbatical. Take a break. You just need to go to a resort, engage yourself, have something with avocado, a guacamole, or something like that. You need some respite. Be simple, humble, and come back, write simple poems. Harsha went. A week after Harsha had gone, the king couldn't withstand the absence of such a erudite scholar in his court. So he said, go fetch Harsha. Harsha, the soldiers went. They finally spotted Harsha below the shade of a broken cart. What was he doing? He was eating and chewing some vadas. They asked, Harsha, Purusha, Kim Kurushe? There is a sha here, Purusha, Kim Kurushe? Oh man, what are you doing? Purusha, Kim Kurushe? Asesha Musha Masha Shishe Me Shisheve. I am now eating the leftovers of the urad dal which has been made into the vada. He's saying, Asesha, Seshi, Musha, Masha, Shisheve. See, he took that sha from their question and gave them back 6 shas, which means he will not change. Why was he having Urad dal, because in Ayurveda, it is a belief when you have urad dal soaked in rice and then made into a vada and then put into buttermilk, when you consume it, your memory will come down. That is why before a Veda Pariksha or any examination, the house they will not give dahi vada. Dahi vada is danger. It is very tasty. They will put that bundi and some grated carrot and all. Have you seen? That's all. You'll forget. You have listened to this lecture. Go to the nearby hotel, have this vada and go home. Now, naiva shakyam punargantum yanmaya choditam hayaihi. Now, Nala was a Chakravarti in where have we left? Horse riding, chariot. He was bad times that king became the charioteer for another king called Rituparna. Now Rituparna was seated behind Sarathi, Nala is driving. Look at the chariot and horse riding skills there. Nala is riding the chariot. Naishada Kavyam Harsha says, as he was riding, the Raja said, Rituparna told Nala, my Uttariyam has fallen. Because it was so fast, the Uttariyam went away. Nala said, sir, you think again whether we should go back to get it. Why? 1 yojana has passed. In many calculations, 1 yojana is roughly 8 miles, about roughly 12 plus kilometers. By the time he lost his Uttariyam and told Nala to stop, 12 kilometers were gone. At times in Bangalore, to cover 2 kilometers, you can walk and lift the car and go. Like this, you can go home and park it. 2 kilometers, people will be walking past you. They would have reached that station, but we will be there inside. This is Nala's riding skills. So this is with respect to Gaja, Ashwa, Ratha, Kaushalam. So a Kshatriya had to be very good in driving. Today you need to drive all these, the Dvichakravahanam, Trichakravahanam, Chatushchakravahanam. But people mostly prefer the average of 2 and 4, which is 3. Because in the auto you go, he will reach you. Somehow he'll squeeze between 2 buses and take you. The car will not go. It will stand royally like a king. It will say, let them come and invite me. Then you have to keep waiting. Right? Auto will somehow manage and go. So if you in Chennai and all, when we go for Margadi season concerts, we will have 25 to 30 programs, morning one, evening one. So the best is I take an auto. The auto will reach me exactly at the right time. Car will never take me. So you have to decide. 26th is Yuddha Vidya. How to fight, sir? Should we learn? That is why they say carry pepper spray along with you. That is also an ayudam, right? What is Narayana's ayudam? Mace, Kaumodaki. Whom did he kill Kaumodaki with? Madhu Kaitabha. Stri Ratnakaranam Upapatta Tritiya Varnam Daityendra Veera Shayanam Daitopadhanam. So he crushed using Kaumodaki. Bhima and Duryodhana were adept in Gada, spear, veil. Yudhishthira and the Panchapandavas was extremely good in the spear. Kartikeya's Skandamurti is called Muruga Veil. Veil there means youth. He holds the veil, which is the spear. There is a kshetram near Nagapattinam. If you are Skanda Bhaktas, you should visit. It is called Sikkil. Have you heard of that? Sikkil is the place where Parvati bestowed her son with the spear. In Tamil, if you don't understand things well, then it is a problem. Problem is called Sikkal. Right. So you can go to Sikkil or get caught in Sikkal. Now, third is sword, Khadgam. So we have Vishnu, Durga, they all carry the Khadgam with them. Nakula was very good in swords. Trishula, Shiva. Archery, Rama. When Rama used to fight, people used to say, photo tagolo, ಎಷ್ಟು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮುಟ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. How he fought. See, whatever Bhagavan does will be a style statement. Even if he sleeps, you go to Srirangapatna, 500 rupees ticket, you are buying to see him. ಯಾವುದೇ ನೋಡಕ್ಕೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಲ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ನೋಡಿ ಸರ್. ಅವರು ಮಲ್ಗೋದೇ ಸ್ಟೈಲ್ ಸರ್. You go and stand for 3 hours to see him sleep, because even when he sleeps with a smile. Take one photo of yourself when you're sleeping. You will hate yourself. You may have to go to a therapist. Hair will go like this. Idana ಸತ್ತೋಗ್ದಾನನ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಲ್ಲ. So, when Bhagavan sleeps, he sleeps like a hero. That is why in Tamil we have song Nee nadandal nadayalagu, Nee sirital siripalagu. When Rama shoots, fights, will you tell this? அவர் எப்படி சண்டை போடுறார் பாருங்க சார், ரொம்ப அழகா சண்டை போடுறார் சார் சொல்லுவோமோ. When Rama fights, everybody loves. Because the way he fights, see, even if you're a cook, the man or the woman in the house, the way you go inside the kitchen, the way you stand, that confidence itself will tell output ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. When you go inside, you're tense yourself. ಇದು ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ, ಅದು ಎಷ್ಟು ತಗೋಬೇಕು, ಇದು 100 grams or 200 grams. That means you should decide not to eat their food. The way you carry yourself, that is ayudham. Now, these are all ayudhas that I've spoken. Are there some other different ayudhas, sir? See, what ayudham did Hanuman carry? Gada. Sir, ಅದು ಕೂಡ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ನೀವು ಯಾಕೆ ಸರ್ ಪ್ರವಚನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ? ಹನುಮಾನ್ ಕ್ಯಾರಿಡ್ ಗದ. You show me one verse in the Ramayana, it says Hanuman carried gada. No verse. Hanuman does not have gada in the Ramayana. ಮತ್ತೆ ಸರ್ ಇಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷ ನಮ್ಮ ಚೀಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರಾ? That I don't know, but Hanuman never had gada. Then what did he fight with? Tatho vrikshair mahakayah parvatagraijavanaraha nijagnastani rakshamsi nagairdanaischа veginaha rajayati sugrivaha iti shabdo mahanabhut. With nails and teeth. Vanaras were not using weapons. They will climb on Rakshasas, bite them and come. That is how they fought. Nails. Can nails be ayudham, sir? In Vishnu Sahasranamam we have Devaki Nandana Srashta Kshitisha Papanashanaha. Gottidre helbodu. Devaki Nandana Srashta Kshitisha Papanashanaha. Shankha Bhrinnandaki Chakri Sharga Dhanva Gadhadaraha. Rathangapanir Akshobhya Sarva Praharana Yudaha. Sarva Praharanayudha Om Nama Iti Vanamali Gadir Sharngi Shanki Chakri Chanandaki. The last set of Namavali in Vishnu Sahasranamam that Bhishmacharya proudly pronounces to Yudhishthira. Shankhabrin, the one who holds the Shankha called Panchajanya. Nandaki, the one who holds the sword called Nandakam. Chakri, the one who has Sudarshana in his hand. Sharanga Dhanva, the one who has the bow called Sharanga. Gadadharaha, the one who has Kaumodaki. Ishtir tanka bandide. Rathangapani Rakshobhyaha, the one who's unmatched. Last nama. 1000th nama. Last. Sarva Praharana Yudhaha. In 2018, a lecture series I delivered in Mumbai, Mullund. That time, even as usual, I gave a comment stating that I want somebody to give their son or grandson this name, Sarva Praharanayudha. Everybody clapped because it was a very big name. How will you call in the house? Sarva Praharanayudha. By the time you call Sarva, he would have come. Then he will be standing till you finish Praharanayudha. I just told like this, I was quite sure nobody will give this name because now we are in the era of Persian names, right? Zara, Pantaloon, Landmark, all those shop names have come to us now. So, in this era, who will give Sarva Praharana Yudha, Aparyaptamrita? All these names they will not give. 2018 I delivered. One boy who was working then was listening to this. Then he got married. He had a son. Then he wrote one message to me in LinkedIn. Sir, I've called my son, named him Sarva Praharana Yudha. His wife must be cursing me. That's a different thing. ಯಾವ ಸ್ಟೈಲ್ ಹೆಸರು ಇದೆ, ನಿತಿನ್ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ. ಹಿಂಗೆ ಯಾವ ಸರ್ವ ಪ್ರಹರಣ ಯುಧ. How will the teachers say? Now teachers need one separate workshop for telling this name. But Adi Shankara writes a commentary on Sarva Praharana Yuddha. He says, Bhagavan was bored of using Chakram, Shankam, Gada, Sharngam, all of these. He said, I need to be innovative. I have to think out of the box. This is the box. Out of the box, nails. So he said during Nrisimha Avatara, he came up with the innovative weapon, nails. That is why Srimadacharya, Madhvacharya writes one stuti called Nakhastuti. It is a stuti on the nails. Sarpan Twasman Puruhuta Vairi Balavan Matangamadhyadghatat Kumbochadri Vipatanadhikapatu Pratyeka Vajraitaha Srimat Kantiravasya Pratata Sunakara Daritarati Dura Pradbhasvat Pradbhastadvanta Shanta Pravitita Manasa Bhavita Bhuri Bhagaihi. Nails. So, besides these traditional weapons, nails and teeth are also weapons. So, that when used becomes the 26th Vidya called as Yuddha Vidya. The others are very easy. 27th, I won't talk about much. It is called exercises. Vyayamiki Vidya. Some of you will be doing marathons, weight, stone, sand, and all. You'll be lifting for you. That is the Vidya. Great Vidya. I cannot talk because whatever little I practice, only I have to preach. Which I don't touch at all. How can I preach? Even to the washroom, I go in auto and come. So, Vyayamiki Vidya. Vyayamo hi sada pathyo balanam snigdhabhojanam. Sachashite vasante cha tesham patyatamasmritaha. For the body, you need to do exercises. There are two more aspects to it, says Shastram. One is voice. You have to give exercises for your voice also. What should you do? Keep quiet. Sir, ನೀವು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ sir? ಇಲ್ಲ. Next, mental health. Sthite manasi suswaste. Meditate. Then dancers have to dance. Musicians have to practice daily activities, walking, running. See, traditionally, we had no other choice. There will be grinding stone and all of that. Now, Ultra does that for us. Ninja does that for us. Preeti does it with lot of love. National does it with love. Now you don't even have to grind atta. You can braid ready-made atta. Hema Mami gives that. You put that this thing, you'll get idli. Podi, some other Mailapur Mami will give. You have to apply. We can eat it for now. For going further, we may have somebody to feed us also. Feeding service. Ondi idli ge 5 rupai. So one person will come. He will knock the door and say, sir, I've come. Okay, please come. We will be seated like this. That person will feed us ಒಂದು ಇಡ್ಲಿ 2 ಇಡ್ಲಿ 10 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಸರ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಸರ್ 3ನೇ ಇಡ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರು ತಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. But you note it down in 2 years, you'll get feeding service or not. See, like how contractors came up with marriage contracts. Except the Mangalya Sutra Dharanam, everything else they will do. Now that also you may outsource it to them. Sir, ಅವ್ನು ತುಂಬಾ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಸಿ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, ಇನ್ ಆಬ್ಸೆನ್ಷಿಯಾ ನೀವು ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡಿ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅವ್ರು ಬಂದು. So everything has become a service. So Vyayami Kriya, which is 27th, 28, 29, 30, all three are related to swimming. Now, if Madhavan was here, he would have brought his son. Right? 28th is Taranam, 29th is Nimajjanam, 30th is Udakaghataha. This is a very important point that I wanted to tell you. Where does swimming come? Rama must have learned, Dasharatha must have learned. This is all must have learned. We don't have any direct reference. But when I look back into the Sundarakanda shloka by shloka, line by line, word by word, despite having given lectures on Sundarakanda for 15-20 years, I now have, it's my gut feeling that Hanuman must have done a combination of both. Leapt, levitated, swam, and levitated. So now you may say, continuous madilva, sir. That is how Valmiki projects. But if you look at the strokes, what Hanuman does, putting his hand in the front and then pushing his other hand at the back, it will look exactly like the strokes of swimming. So he could have done a combination of both. You jump, you leap, you levitate, you swim, you go back. There is another reference. On his return, when his tail is burnt and he shares the fire with Lanka, then he gets into the waters of Lanka and then extinguishes that fire. So it must have been he started with swimming and then levitated. He must have had a unique combination of both. This is my feeling, that he must have done a combination of both. Illa hangadre now full fly madilva. Isn't this an advantage where you fly and swim? You know both. So it is only an advantage. It's not something to put Hanuman down. He knew swimming as well. One. Second is, when the Pandavas and the Dhartarashtras, for the sons of Dhritarashtra, I generally avoid using the word Kauravas. Because people who have come in the Vamsha of Kuru are Kauravas. Pandavas are also Kauravas. So the only way you have to differentiate is Panduputraha, Pandavaha. Dhritarashtraputraha, Dhartarashtraha. So Pandavas and Dhartarashtras, as young boys when they learnt under Drona University, DU, there we have now another DU called Delhi University. Earlier it was DU, Drona University. So this Drona University, when they learned, as usual, Duryodhana, Dushyasana, that et all, that entire company did not like Bhima foremost. He was like a Goliath, a huge islander like body. What they did was, in the laddus that he had, they mixed some poison and they pushed him into the waters. He could have swam really well, but since he was poisoned, he was pushed. People thought he was dead. They made one photo, they put one mala, and Duryodhana said, I miss Bhima a lot. He was the one who killed. I miss Bhima, was so close to me. He was here. All this he did. He wore black cooling glass, white kurta, typical Bollywood mourning he did. Suddenly, Bhima came. Hello, Duryodhana, don't miss me, I'm here. Now, Duryodhana really started crying. He said, how did you come? That is when he said, when somebody poisoned me and pushed me, they thought I couldn't swim. I couldn't. But the Naga Devatas took me there, gave me a special ambrosia. It was like Red Bull, full energy. I've come back swimming. So he came back swimming. So swimming is there in Mahabharata. Third, Krishna's courtyard. Have you heard of the song of Navaratnas? ముద్దుగారే యశోద ముంగిట ముత్యము వీడు దిద్దరాని మహిమల దేవకీ సుతుడు అంతలింత గొల్లేతల అరచేతి మాణిక్యము పంతమాడే కంసుని పాలివజ్రము ముద్దుగారే యశోద ముంగిట ముత్య యశోద ముంగిట అంటే కోర్ట్ యార్డ్. ఒక గృహం ఉందంటే ద ఫ్రంట్ పోర్షన్ ఇస్ కాల్డ్ అస్ ముంగిట. ఆ ముంగిటలో ఉన్న ముద్దుగారే యశోద ముంగిట. షీ కిసెస్ హర్ సన్ విత్ సచ్ లవ్. సి అన్నమాచార్యస్ తెలుగు is dipped in honey. Now in Yashoda's courtyard there were two large trees. They were the landmark of Yashoda and Nandagopa's house. Once, when she reprimanded her son for his bad behavior, she tied him to a mortar. Krishna couldn't stay quiet. He started crawling and he bent within the crevice of the two trees, pulled the mortar, dabal, the two trees fell. That's all. Then Yashoda came, they called the forest people, they lifted those trees, cut those trees. Now she inquired, Kya hua? Krishna, haha, he laughed. Then she called his friends, Pichumani, Rajamani, Chandramouli. Hello, Chandramouli, Mr. Chandramouli, come here. So she asked, Pichumani, Rajamani, what happened? What did my son do? They said, what your son did, you saw. What happened after that, we saw. Two divine structures came from the tree, spoke to Krishna, put their hands together and went away. Do you see that regularly? They cut so many trees. Do you see some structure coming out? No. Who are those two people? Shuka says, they were the sons of Kubera. Once while they were engaged in water sports like Bidadi, Wonderla, they splashed water on Narada. Narada cursed that since you are splashing water and without clothes in the water, stark naked, you will be standing as trees until Krishna gives you. So water sports were also common. Third, Gopikas, while they were swimming, is where the clothes were taken. Krishna had to return. This is a multi-dollar question. Sir, yen sari Krishna guttaktane illa yenga unna decide ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಂತ. When Draupadi asks for a sari, he gives many. When Gopikas are bathing, he takes away those saris. Isn't this contradicting? He didn't take away the saris to insult them. It is said when you're taking bath in a natural water body like the sea, like the river, like the pond, be it the man or the woman, you should have a piece of cloth over you to cover your marmasthanam. These Gopika Stris were bathing in the Yamuna waters without any clothes, which was against Shastram. There are various ways where people teach lessons. Some teachers teach like morals. Students, truth is triumph. That's all. Some teachers like to do it in a practical way. If Rama was there, he would have given a half an hour lecture. He would have said, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬನ್ನಿ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಂಟಪ ಇದೆ, ನಾನು ಹೇಳುತ್ತೀನಿ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಕಡೆ ಯಾವ ವಾಕ್ಯ ಇದೆ, ಯಾವ ವಾಕ್ಯದ ಭಾವಾರ್ಥದಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ನಾನ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ವಸ್ತ್ರ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಪ್ರವಚನ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ರಾಮ ಸ್ಟೈಲ್. ಕೃಷ್ಣ ನೆವರ್ ಬಿಲೀವ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕೋರ್ಸಸ್. What he will do is he'll take the clothes. Now they will be in a shock for some time, they cannot come. Then he will say, put your hands together for having committed that mistake, give back those clothes. Krishna's belief was only such treatment will stay for long in that child. See, there are two ways in the childhood. I remember when there used to be fire, my grandmother would say, fire will burn you, don't go. Simple way. But the child won't listen. Poi vai, kaiya vai, vai, po. Then the child will be worried, which means something is going to happen. Then the child will withdraw. This was another treatment. Rama is former, Krishna is latter. So the women swam. So swimming is an art, is known through this, which is 28th Vidya called Taranam. Sir, swimming. Are we all swimming? Yes. Where in life? We have to reach from this place to the other. First, we have to study well, study very, very, very well. The competition today, if you see, thank God I finished school. If you put me back to school, that's all, I will flunk. Even today, I get bad dreams about my thermodynamics paper. How many of you get such dreams of having this college, even pass aglilla, sir, yeno, sir, baya? See, that fear is there. That is life. That is ocean. We have to cross that. Who helps us? Tyagaraja says, Bhava bhitaranopayamule. Taranam is swimming. I am not able to swim in this life. Bhava bhitaranopayamule Tyagaraja karambidi brocheva revarre. Sri Rama Nenaruna Brocheva revarre. Rama asks, why? Tyagaraja, what's your problem? Bhava bhitaranopayamule ledu ani. I don't know. Tyagaraja, I am Tyagaraja, karambidi kayai pidi kaina hidi brocheva revarre. So Taranam is swimming, which we also do. Rama is the only savior, says Tyagaraja. 29th, just 2 more minutes, I'll finish, then you can escape from here. 29th, Nimajjanam. This Nimajjanam has to do with the art of diving. First is swimming, second is diving. You see that board, from that swimming board, people will just dive into the waters. Who did this? Krishna. When he had to jump to take the Kandukam from the waters of Kaliya lake, he didn't jump just like that. He went to a tree that was bereft of its leaves for a long time called Kundashaka, jumped on it, and then took a dip. Tami tata jam, takata jam, takarikata jam. ನೀಲ ಮನೋಹರ ಜಾಲ ವಿಭೂಷಣ ನಿರತಿಶ ನಂದನ ನೀರಜ ತಡಾಗ ಅಧಿಗ ಮೃದುಳ ಪದ ನಿಕಟ ತರಂಗು ತುಂಗ ತಾಟಂಕ ನೃತ್ತಕ ನೃತ್ತಕ ತಾಂ ತತ್ತೋಂ tattai. You have to imagine the water splashing. That is diving. 29th art called Nimajjanam. Jalashaye nimagna gatir jnanam sahi kala smrita. Why diving is important for Bhagavan? See, there is a vakyam in Thiruvaimozhi Kalakshepam in the Tamil Prabandham 1000 years back. முழுகினவனுக்கு உடமைக்கு ஒரு முழுக்கு உடையவனுக்கு பல முழுக்கு. It's a beautiful place. Imagine 40 years back, 50 years back. The man is married. The wife is at home. The wife's mother-in-law, that is the man's mother, is surviving and is at home. The girl goes to the backyard to fetch the waters from the well. As she's about to fetch, since she is less experienced, she puts the pot into the well. She tells Amma, looking at her mother-in-law, that's why I said 50 years back, Amma, the vessel has fallen. She said, this is the only thing that my mother-in-law gave. You have put that also into the well. Do not enter the house without that vessel. This girl, avar varuvara. She waited for the man. The man came with the briefcase after 6 o'clock. He said, "Why are you seated there, Ruku? आप इधर आइए, वो vessel निकालिए." So he jumped into the waters. Bhava Bhitaranopayamulедani. He jumped. He brought, the hand came out of the well. It was a soap dabba. 2 weeks back that had fallen. Then she took that soap dabba. Then sometime later he got some other plate, aluminium plate. Third time the vessel came. So the commentator writes, Udamaik Odumuluk. The diving was once for the object, but for the diver, it was many dips. Why? For a Jivatma which is inside the Samsara Sagara, it is only once that the Jivatma has to come, it will keep staying here. But to retrieve the Jivatma from this, Bhagavan puts one diving as Matsya, retrieves some. Second diving as Kurma, retrieves some. Third as Rama, retrieves some. Fourth as Krishna, retrieves some. So for the possession, it is only once that it has to get submerged. But for the possessor, it is many times. So diving is important even for Paramatma, which is the 29th Vidya called Nimajjanam, 30th Udakaghataha, the art of splashing water. That is what is in Gopika Stri Varnanam. Sansechanam Samharanam Jalanam tu Kalasmrita. So, these are all the kalas that we have learnt. Thank you. Kavitarkika Simhaya Kalyana Gunashaline Srimate Venkateshaya Vedanta Gurave Namaha Swasti Prajabhya Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahishaha Gobrahmanebhya Shubhamastu Nityam Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Namaskar.
परम भागवत मौनि वरस शिविभाकर सनक सनंदन दीश सुर किं पुरुष कनक कशिपु सुत नारद तुम्बुरु पवन सूनु बाल चंद्रधर शुक सरोज भव भूसुर वरुलु परम पावनुलु घनुलु शाश्वतुलु कमल भव सुखमु सदानुभवुलु गयंदरो महानुभावुलु. As I'm speaking these divine lines of Sri Tyagaraja Swami, I've received the very divine Onavil of Thiruvananthapuram. This is going to be a grand, a mega Natya production titled Endaro Mahanubhavulu, a festoon of the devout. We have chosen the inspiring events from the lives of 14 Acharyas, Mahans, who have trod Bharata Bhumi. Doddacharya, Adishankaracharya, Vedanta Deshika, Muthuswami Dikshita, Potana, Jayadeva, Andal, Mirabai, Kamban, Tirumalizai Piran, Bhadrachala, Ramadasu, Goswami, Tudasidasa, Purandaradasa and Tukara. We have strung it together into a beautiful dance production that is primarily Bharatanatyam based with movements of Odissi, Ghumar and Mohiniyattam, which is going to be multilingual as well with lines chosen from Sanskritam, Marathi, Brajbhasha, Rajasthani, Telugu, Kannada, Tamil, so many languages put together. I've had the opportunity to work with dancers, Natya gurus of great repertoire in the last 15 years. This is an opportunity for me to have curated the production, to have done the storyboard and narrate the production in English. The choreography is by the very famous revered Kalaimamani Srimati Anita Guha. The music is by the great-grandson of Subramanya Bharati, a Sangeet Natak Academy awardee, Dr. Rajkumar Bharati. And the soundscape design is by Sri Sai Shravanam, one of the contributing engineers to the award-winning Life of Pi movie. We have all come together to present this grand production Endaro Mahanubhavulu in your city. On the 26th and on the 27th of September at the Prestige Center of Performing Arts in Bengaluru, we are presenting this production. On the 3rd and the 4th of October, we are doing it at the Naradagana Sabha in Chennai. On the 1st of November, we are doing it at the Fine Arts Society Chembur in Mumbai. And on the 29th of November at Kamani Auditorium in Delhi. Tickets are flying off the shelves. Please be present, buy your tickets and be with your family to watch this, I would say, once in a lifetime event. We are extremely thankful to the title sponsor, to the event sponsor, to the associate sponsors and to those hands who have supported us. To the all of you, thank you. To the all of you, Vandanamulu, please be present. Namaskar.